with Lemmy, which is something a friend of mine sent just to check out. And if for those that don't already know, I've only been reading a little bit about it, but it sounded like I just thought it was interesting to highlight in this discussion of ours, because all these social media platforms have a private ownership component, i.e. a big someone owns it, so you have to live with the rules that corporation or entity is imposing on that platform. And Reddit's not being any different, because there's a lot of Reddit users now that are complaining that it just isn't what it used to be, which doesn't surprise me. But Lemmy seems to be an attempt to try and effectively democratize this type of engagement on the internet. The idea of it's still like threads and posts, and you can upvote it, downvote it, however you want to do it. And I won't go into the technical detail of it, because a little bit of it it takes a while to digest, let's put it that way. But the simplest way to describe it, as far as I can understand, is that it's a little bit like email, in that nobody owns email, everyone can email, and it's like a truly democratized function, for lack of a better term. And I think with Lemmy there's an attempt to do something similar there. And it makes me wonder, would it have been if social media had been a thing when the internet was invented along with email, and social media was done at the same time, that, maybe we could have been living in a world that was truly democratized in this way, where, the platforms weren't owned by anyone and driven by a certain agenda or bias with the algorithms that they employ.
It's a really interesting concept you finish on there, Ben, because, Lemmy is like the early internet. It's decentralized. So it's kind of a cross between blockchain and early internet, where it's all peer-to-peer, and you choose your interactions effectively, whereas now we have a centralized AI brain, or five of them, depending on the platform or whichever FANG you're with or whatever it is, and they're telling you what to think, where to go, and they actually control all your movement on the internet. But getting back to what you said, I mean, just imagine if Facebook or Meta or Zuck, whoever it would have been, had made Facebook open source. And yet he controlled the Facebook component of Facebook, but then I can guarantee you everyone else would be using a Facebook-based, domain, which is a bit like Lemmy. The interesting thing is now, 15 years ago, maybe that wouldn't have worked, but now it actually would, because he controlled the whole internet, and he would have achieved what MSN tried to achieve. So it's a very interesting concept, but Lemmy, I think, really lends itself to the democratization of the internet. I don't know how long it'll manage to stay free and unique and decentralized within its decentralized structure, but it's nice to see something different.
Well, I mean, I don't know. Maybe it makes me think that there could be a potential scenario where there's a feeling enough is enough with the impact of what social media is doing on society in terms of how people are engaging, raging, to ever nth degrees of anger and polarization, that maybe at some point it just, I think we've talked about the fever breaking, and this is another example of a fever breaking. You keep hoping for it to happen. It doesn't seem to be happening at any time soon from the look of it, but one can only hope. And I saw something like this, and that was kind of like, maybe this might be something, or the idea of it anyway.
Well, yeah, it'd be very interesting to see what happens with Lemmy, because it's certainly not in the interests of the status quo. So I think they would certainly feel a need to respond, either by setting up a lot of Lemmy platforms within Lemmy and just dominating it that way, or maybe they've got another way.
Yeah, they can put threads on Lemmy and then they can feel better about themselves.
So, all with links back to their sites.
Yeah, that's right.